Bobby Yagam, Curtis Ennis. Know that we've been loyal way back from the beginning. A trusted source for the news. 79th and Halas, what it is, what it do. Since Bobby Yagam, Curtis Ennis. Know that we've been loyal even when we wasn't winning. A trusted source for the news. 79th and Halas in your ears, you. Since Bobby Yagam, Curtis Ennis. Know that we've been loyal.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After I'll say 10-day hiatus, we are back. 79th and Halas, episode 255, man. It is you guys, Scott and Flows, man. Of course, you know to follow us on all social media platforms at Barberchair Scott. You can follow Flows at Flows Andolini on all social media platforms. Follow the Barberchair Network at Barberchair Net on all social media platforms. Of course, follow 79th and Halas at 79th and Halas on Twitter, man. And of course, you can follow, get in tune with our, our Patreon.
Words, huh, nigga?
Try to get in tune with our Patreon, man. Patreon.com/barberschair network, man. And as you can see right here on the screen, you can take your phone and take you right to the QR code. And they'll have all the different tiers you can subscribe to check out all of our content, man. And if you subscribe to the $10 Holla, the Barbershare All Access tier, you get 25% off of your first order on the Barbershare Network shop. That's bcnetshop.com. Shout out to everybody who ordered their stuff, man. And it took me a long time to find it because to figure out what I was gonna say, because I was looking for the Patreon ad. That's why. That's what happens when you don't have somebody else producing. But we here. It is Wednesday, October 23rd. Just came back from Halas Hall. But Flows, how you feeling today?
I'm tired. I'm still at work. I can't act like I'm working. I did a little bit of work. I probably stopped maybe 30 minutes ago, but I'm one of the few people who stays late at work voluntarily. I just live too far from my job that I do not feel like going home in an hour and 20, sometimes an hour and a half of traffic. Why do that when I can stay here? Sometimes I do work. Like I have my planner right here for the week. And sometimes I won't be there Friday for a certain period because I'm on a field trip with my students. So I take care of stuff ahead of time. Other times, I'm just here shooting the shit with my colleagues during this period because a few of them stay here too. And other times, I'm just watching. Like I was watching Industry last week, finishing up, just chilling. So I'm one of the few people who do that at their jobs. So naturally, by the time it all ends, I'm tired. Today is one of those days. I'm tired. I've done a lot of work. I'm ready to lay in my bed and eat massive amounts of food. But good news is Bears football Sunday. I'm bummed that I won't be there, but still good time.
I think that, first of all, neither me nor Flows will be any of the next two games. Won't be in
this
DC.
This is the struggle of having your own media company, man. We pay for our own shit.
Well, actually, this week I didn't want to go. It's my birthday weekend, so I had other plans.
Excuse me.
And I didn't want
to. They're pleading for our small business minds.
I didn't want to work on my actual birthday weekend. That's when. But for Arizona, I actually could have bought an Arizona flight. I just was like Arizona or San Francisco. So I was like, I'd rather try to put some money into trying to get to San Francisco, a place that would actually spend more than 24 hours at, than Arizona. And there's nothing to any good people out there in Arizona. Apparently, according to my Twitter mention, some of y'all get offended when I make jokes about other cities. Because I tweeted that I love seeing Cleveland sports teams lose. It was like, well, what you got against Cleveland niggas? I support the network and everything. I'm like, I ain't got nothing against Cleveland niggas. I was like, I just don't like y'all fucking sports teams. Nigga, like, I'm from Chicago. I don't like any Midwest sports teams. So there's no disrespect to Arizona people, since I have to put that out there. If I have to choose which city I want to spend the weekend in, Arizona, Glendale, Arizona, or San Francisco, California, I think it's a pretty easy decision. So that's why we won't be at the second game. But then we'll be back for the Patriots game, and then we're going to be with y'all for the rest of the season. We will be doing a career high in games this year. I'll be doing at least 15 games this season. I think my career high was like 9 that I've done in 1 year. Last 2 years, it would have been 10 last year. We weren't able to make the Browns game last minute. But yeah, man. But so just get that out there. If you looking at our Twitter page, looking for updates Will not be any updates this Sunday because I don't know if Joe wants to tweet about the game, but I will be intoxicated, enjoying my birthday and watching it somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tweet about it. I don't know where I'll be. Be honest with you, I mean, I don't know. I'll be out the day before, late. I'm probably just gonna chill. I don't want to work. I'm not working. I'm not gonna be there. So why fake the work?
I definitely understand that, but let's just get into it, man. I just want to say today I was up in Halas first time in 3 weeks because you had the London game, which is crazy that trip was 2 weeks ago now. Like, where the fuck does the time go? 2 weeks ago, me and Joe were actually on an airplane at this particular time, heading to London.
Right, we were.
Yeah. And then last week was the bye week, so nobody was up there. So it was the first time we were up in Halas in 3 weeks. And I just want to say this thing about the vibe of the team. And maybe this don't matter too much. Maybe it's the winning, winning cures all, as they say. But this is a really good locker room. Like, you can just see the camaraderie. It is way better than anything that we've seen in the 4 years I've been covering the team, 5 years you've been covering the team. And it just felt like this team really, really likes each other. And even at the beginning of the season when they were 1-2, it never wavered. It was always the same kind of cool camaraderie. And today it was cool because, Caleb was doing his press conference and DJ is in the background talking shit. He said, ask why he didn't go to Maryland. Like, you from DC, why you didn't go to Maryland? And, just messing around with him and having that camaraderie there. And then the same thing when we're interviewing Keenan Allen in the hallway, Caleb is getting in the middle of Keenan's press conference. You just see how much the team really messes with each other. Keenan and Rome got their own new handshake that they do. These niggas had 3 different basketball hoops inside the locker room today. People were just in a good vibe, playing good music. And I think that kind of stuff really, really matters culture-wise. And obviously, I think wins have a good part of it. If they were 2-4 right now instead of 4-2, I don't think the vibes would be as high. But that's something that I noticed that I thought was dope. And I was like, yo, this team really, really likes to be around each other. And you can just feel that in the building.
Well, I haven't been, in Halas Hall enough to know how the vibe is. I can only tell from after the London game and after this little win streak they've been on how enthused they feel, how the morale feels high. But I think that happens with human beings, period. When things are going great, your morale's high. You're going to feel great. It's when things are going bad and how you manage your morale that you really know how good a team is. So it's not that I want to be like a bummer and not say, man, the vibes are high and everything, but it's so commonplace with being a human that I don't put much stock into it. I'm like, well, things are going great. What happens when you lose?
So, well, I think that's also, obviously they were only 1 game behind 500, but when they were 1-2, I didn't see a difference either. As far as how the vibe was, but I feel like even that week, I felt like a more locked in vibe. And I think even today, I think Caleb said that, the attention to detail has been different since they had that. Y'all can hear the dog in the background. Buddy? Yeah, so you can hear the dog in the background. He has
been going at it for a while. You just got to deal with it.
Yeah, he has a beef with the fucking mailman. I'm guessing that's who it is. But
I don't know how he knows that it's the mail person. But he always knows, and he barks endlessly. It could be a random stranger come up to the door, and Buddy won't bark as hard as when he sees a fucking mail person.
Yeah, and then he'll
and now they're barking outside of my window. That's funny.
Yeah, y'all was gonna have to deal with that, nigga. I don't know what to tell y'all. But he said that poor dog. But I think that if they said that the walkthroughs have felt more like practices. Ever since they had that conversation of, team and trying to get on the same page offensively. And we said, player meetings with the coaches can go 1 or 2 ways. And it really feel like it went the other way, man. Let's get to, he said, I'm a mailman today. I don't know how dogs be knowing I'm coming. Yeah, I don't know. That's y'all mortal enemy, bro. Like, dogs and mailmans. Remember how they did beef 5, mailmans versus dogs. That's what it should be. But let's just get into the actual game. Now, this game was more hyped a couple days ago. Then Jayden Daniels got hurt in the Panthers game. He had a rib issue, did not come back. And Marcus Mariota continued the rest of the game as they continue to annihilate the Carolina Panthers. You need any more proof they need to be relegated from the NFL.
That's good, man. That's a good get your mind right, man. You want to reset for a
They
team.
the homecoming game.
Yeah,
they
man.
the homecoming. The Panthers are the homecoming game, and we also heard that Bryce Young will be starting again this weekend. So good for.
What was the point? What was the point?
I really don't know what the fucking point was. I have no idea.
You were getting blew out with him, blew out without him.
Andy Dalton had that one. He had that one good game where they beat the Bengals, and then this is still Andy fucking Dalton. That's what that really was. But
and that game is literally, we don't have enough film on him right now to know how he is in this system. So he'll do a few things that we didn't expect.
Also that Bengals defense is just like ass. But anyway, man. But Jayden Daniels did not return. He did not practice today. The way it sounds from Ian Rappaport, from head coach Dan Quinn, I don't think that nigga's playing. Marcus Mariota took all the reps from the ones today. He spoke to the media today, and they'll have another update on Friday, which is the next time Dan Quinn speaks to the media. My prediction is kind of like what the homie Mikey, I'm not gonna hold you, said he'll probably be limited tomorrow. If he practices, if he don't practice tomorrow, he's 100% not gonna play. But if he practices tomorrow in limited capacity, I think that they will name him questionable or not questionable, doubtful. And then you'll probably get late Saturday, early Sunday, he's officially out. I don't think this nigga's playing. And that's something that Flus even talked about, saying that, offensive game plan wise, it's really kind of the same way that they run the offense, no matter if it's Mariota or if it's Jayden Daniels. And, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little disappointed. Because I think just as an NFL fan, taking away my Bears fandom, the Bears have never been part of a QB duel in the entire history, like a promoted as a QB. This game got flexed because it was a QB duel between two young QBs who are the best two young QBs in the league right now, and the number 1 and number 2 picks, the last two Heisman winners. This has never happened in Bears history. Like most of the time when they get flexed, you don't even get an offensive player in the promo. So that's why I was excited to see that from that perspective. I also wanted to win so Caleb could show out in his hometown and that they could beat Jayden Daniels, so I could talk shit to Commanders Reddit, who found I'm not gonna hold you a couple of days ago. Thank you for the extra views. I really appreciate it. We had 150 people in the comments on both Reddit and YouTube calling me an idiot. I appreciate that y'all even watch the show. So I wanted to get my get back, but I guess it don't even matter now because even if he do somehow play, they go, he was hurt. So I was a little Debbie Downer on that front, but at the same time, Bears got to lock in. And don't let this be a trap game now. Don't lose. Let Mariota have a career game on niggas and shit, man. But what you think about Jayden probably not playing this week?
It's a bum because I think Caleb is far and wide the better quarterback. I don't think it's particularly close. I'm not talking statistics. Objectively, it seems like Jayden's having a better year so far. But I have not had a game where I said, "Wow, look at this kid. This kid is special." I've had a game like, wow, man, he's adjusted well. Caleb, I've had 2 games where I said, he looks like he's been here for years. He looks great. And then I do not think I'm seeing the sophistication of understanding the game, reading the defense like you're a veteran, as well as I do Caleb in terms of Jayden. Now, out of their, how many games have they played so far? 6 games?
Yeah, 6 games.
Or this will be their 7th. It'll be
this will be their 7th again. They played 6, but this will be their 7th.
And I have seen 3 full games of theirs. Shout out to NFL Plus. I've seen 3 full games, watched the entire game, watch the all 22 footage, especially here when I have time, like a prep period, and I've already prepped for another day. I've watched and I said, wow, man, the ball gets out quick. He has nice touch, but I just didn't see what I saw with Caleb. So I was looking for this opportunity for them to have their stats neck and neck, their performances just the same, national TV, so we could see that happen. And I also think the Bears defense happens to be better than the Commanders. I trust the defense of.
It's way better than the Commanders.
I trust the defense of the Bears way better, and I think that gives Caleb a chance to shine, and Jayden a chance to shine. And if he shines on this defense, I think he did a really good job against the Ravens defense too. It'll be a really even showdown for both of them.
I will say this about the Ravens defense. The Ravens defense is tough, but they have the 28th ranked passing defense in the NFL. Just want to throw that out there. Just want to throw that out there.
So I'm disappointed for sure. It does not mean as much now, but now it gets to the point where this will be a typical Bears game that they lose because they're coming off the bye, the vibes are high, they get lackadaisical, or they're playing against a backup QB who has a career night, that type of thing. Those are typical Bears storylines and circumstances. So now it's a good chance for the Bears to do the exact opposite, put their foot on their neck, take advantage of a QB who's not as good as Jayden Daniels and a QB who, while he's a veteran, has never shown that he's like amongst the elite, and get a dominating win. Now, the Commanders are still a good team. They're still a well-run organization, so I doubt it's like a 20-point blowout or something. But it's a good
blowouts just don't happen in the NFL like that.
Right. But it's a good blowout to me is 17. It's not a traditional blowout.
Yeah, at least 3 scores is a blowout.
Yeah, a sure-handed victory, I would say. So I think this is a chance for not the Bears to get a sure-handed win, but at least 2 scores, a 2-score win. Even if that's just a 10-point win, I still think it can. It just does not have the hype in the narrative. Unfortunately, sports has been relegated to narratives now. I mean, there's a new Centel with NFL Centel.
Keep that shit with the NBA, man.
There's a new so-and-so Muse. It used to be NBA just Muse pages. Now NFL has Muse pages. And it's just narratives now. And so I thought this would be a good chance to flip the narrative on his head and have Caleb directly showcase how good he is. But rib injuries suck. They are a part of so much of the body. It's not like you're dealing with a finger on a non-throwing hand where you can tape it up, get around it. You're dealing with something where you have to twist your body to make a throw. You have to run. You might get hit. Like that's it. It's aggravating. So
organizational history rise. If you're the Redskins, if you're the Commanders,
wow.
Hey, Caleb almost called the Redskins too today. It wasn't just me. But if you're the Commanders, the Commanders is a stupid ass name. They should have kept football team. I like watch the football team way more than Commanders, outside of the actual catchy fight song. But if you're the Commanders, you got to look at your franchise history. Look what happened with RG3. You know what I'm saying? The last bright quarterback that people had. People forget that RG3 was killing his rookie year. He was killing, bro. Like, it was kind of the Andrew Luck thing. People was like, oh, is RG3 better than Andrew Luck? And like, anybody with eyes knew that wasn't the case. But he started off, you know what I'm saying, with such a hot year. And, going to playoffs. He died in that fucking playoff game against the Seahawks. The Legion of Boom basically ended that nigga's career because he shouldn't have played that game to begin with from being hurt. So I think if you're the Commanders, you're looking at that history like, this is Jayden. He's a rookie. He's only 6 games into his career, 6, 7 games into his career. You don't want him to go up against, especially not defense like this. A defense that we see been hitting niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they hit that dude on Panthers so hard that Jaquan's still in concussion protocol himself. Like, so they know how to hit. They know how to hit niggas. They know how to get to the quarterback. And and they've been watching tape for 2. If I'm the Commanders, I'm not putting him out there. Like you said with the ribs, it affects your throwing motion. He won't be able to run as quickly. It brings down the whole game. Mariota, as far as backup quarterbacks go, he's not a bad backup quarterback. He was a starter for a couple years in the league. Mariota can win a game. So if I'm the Commanders, I do the same thing despite how much it sucks for us fans. And if you're not a Bears or a Commanders fan, you really got to be upset. I know since you have no rooting interest, you really, really want to see the game. But I think Commanders, that if they do sit them, which I expect them to be sit, I think they're making the right decision.
Yeah. It's like you said, the story of RG3 is tragic because there's no crowd. The story of RG3 is tragic because it could have been handled so much better. Unfortunately, football has a culture where they expect you to tough it out, be a man and that type of things. And though I think players are getting smarter and understanding, hell no, I'm not about to risk my career for this. Organizations have to be willing to put their player aside and say no. And right now, I think you're a good enough team that even if he missed 2-3 games, I think he'll still be fine. And so it's a good time now for him to rest. But if not, if he wanted to get out there, I wouldn't be mad at him. I wouldn't be mad at him either decision because I understand what it's like to play. I don't understand what it's like to play at the professional level, but I understand what it's like to play at the high school level. And when I was a kid, I wanted to play all the time, even if I was injured. And I could imagine if I'm a multi-millionaire as an adult playing the game I love in front of millions, from the thousands in person, millions online, I would want to probably get out there too. I just hope he takes that enthusiasm and thinks about his career.
and you bring up winnable games. Yeah, I know Bears fans don't want to hear this, but yes, it's a winnable game for the Commanders, just like it's a winnable game for the Bears. You got the Bears, you got the Giants next week. But you know, it's funny too. The Giants are ass, but their defense is really, really good. And also, when they played them early in the season, they didn't score a touchdown on the Giants. But you got the Giants, and then you got the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? Before the division games start. So if you sit Jayden for a couple games, he still be ready to go before that Eagles game starts, where you really gonna need him out there. So, but let's go to the injuries. I just said that Jaquan Brisker is still in concussion protocol because he is still in concussion protocol. He did not practice today. Kyler Gordon did not practice today with that hamstring. The good thing is Tyreek Stevenson is back. He practiced today. Terrell Smith is back. He practiced. Zach Pickens did. Travis Homer, and Larry Borom have returned from IR. They are their 21-day window is open. Flu said that they're still Ryan Bates is going to be close to being activated too. So you got two guys in the offensive line for depth reasons who can be coming back. Scott Daly.
Yeah, I hope Ryan Bates isn't inserted into the line at all, just because I kind of like what's going on with the line right now.
Yeah, but he's 100% going to be inserted. Ryan Poles ain't trade that nigga. I'm with you though because of chemistry. I'm
the hot hand. I will stick with the hot hand. If you're not a stud, like a star, like right. Oh my goodness, this is the best guard tackle.
You're not Jason Kelce.
You're not Jason Kelce. I'm not gonna put you out there and rush. I'm gonna say right now the line's working well. We're just gonna roll with them because chemistry and
feel like they finally got a mix now.
Right, chemistry momentum is a real thing.
I'm with you. I would do the same thing. They're not going to, but if I was you, I would 100% do the same thing. Scott Daly, the long snapper, is back. For those who wonder why I pointed that out, Cole Kmet doesn't have to do it anymore. So that's good for him, man. So that's the injury report. For me, I have no problem with them taking it slow with Jaquan. And by the way, Flu said both Jaquan and Kyler are day-to-day. So I wouldn't say they're out yet. I think tomorrow will tell a big story. If neither one of them are even limited, I don't think they're going to play on Sunday. The good thing is you got Tyreek Stevenson back. And with no Jayden Daniels probably, then this gives you another week to be able to give Kyler and Jaquan a little bit more rest, I would say. So, but you got to take it very carefully with Jaquan. This is like his third or fourth concussion since he's been in the NFL. So you definitely want to slow down. And with hamstrings, you don't want to play around hamstrings. We just saw Monday Night Football. Mike Evans should have been playing on that damn hamstring, and now he's out to week 11. By the way, he caught a touchdown with that torn fucking hamstring, by the way. Just show you how cold he is. But, and now he's out to week 11. So you don't ever want to play on hamstrings as well. So I think that's something to look at. But Tyreek's back, and if Mariota does start, I think that you can get away with it for now. Any thoughts on the injuries?
Yeah. Just leave it be. Be cautious. That's how I am, period. I'm never going to be one that says you should just go out and do it anyway. My personal opinion.
Yeah. So my next question, man, I want to talk about, do the playoffs start now for the Bears? And I say that because if you look at the NFC North, and by the way, neither one of us had the Bears winning the NFC North. Let's just put that out there to begin with.
Both of us the best team in the league. It's not happening.
Yeah, both of us had, I think you had 10-7 like I had 10-7 wild card spot. If the playoffs began today, all four NFC North teams will be in. And that's actually my bold prediction that's going to stay that way because I think the NFC East loser is not going to make the playoffs. The NFC West loser is not going to make the playoffs. I think NFC South is going to have maybe two teams, but that's also dependent now if Baker don't have nobody to throw to. So I don't know what's going to happen with them. But if the playoffs begin today, the Bears will be the 7th seed. And guess what? They'll be starting a playoff game against Washington. So, but if you look at what's going on with the NFC North, the Bears are 4-2. They're 4th in the division. Everybody else, the Detroit Lions took number 1 spot again at 5-1. Minnesota dropped to 5-1. They're now number 2. And number 3 be the Packers after a win that the Texans had no business losing. I don't know what the fuck DeMeco Ryans was doing at the end of that fucking game. It was just mind blowing to me.
Why would you give them so much time? Why would you just start running the ball when you can literally pass and prevent them from getting the ball again?
I was mad when they compared Jordan Love to Brett Favre, but I got to be real. That shit was spot on. That nigga got a lot of gunslinging in him. He'll do some plays. You're like, oh shit, that's incredible. Right. And then the next one will make you put the "I know who you are" meme. Like that. That's just what Jordan Love does, man. But when I say do the playoffs start now, not even really about the division, but let's just put the division into play here because you got to start thinking about NFC positioning now as well. The Bears have undefeated in their NFC games, which is really, really good. That's going to come off. That's the only reason they're in the playoffs now have started because they have a better conference record than the Eagles do. Right. So you got the Commanders this week and you got Arizona next week. Those are two NFC games. And then you have a game that could be a trap game with Drake May. I liked what I've seen from Drake May 2 games in.
Yeah.
I've liked what I've seen from Drake May. That could be a trap game as well. My question to you is, let's just say in order for them to compete for the division, not saying they're going to win, do they have to be 7-2 heading into that Packers game, or the 6-3 give them a chance heading into that Packers game?
I'm going to say the most wins will probably put you in the best position. You don't want to bank on 6 wins counting it when I know 7 wins will do the job for them and put them in a better position. You need to stack as many games as you can before you go through that schedule from hell. When you have to deal with and contend with the teams that know you the best, you want to make sure you have enough wins. Because realistically, you could split every game with the rest of the division.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, I pretty much see that happening.
I got them going 3-3 in them division games.
Yeah, I don't see you sweeping.
I think the entire division is going to go 3-3.
Right. I don't see you sweeping any of these teams. One, you've played the team last year in the Lions. You played the exact same team. Bear in mind, I think the Lions are moving as efficiently as they did last year, maybe a little bit better. You're a better offensive team this year. You're even better defensively this year. So I think you can split a game with them. I'm not convinced of the Vikings yet. Sam Darnold is going to do something.
Sam Darnold starts to look more like Sam Darnold each week.
Right. And we're starting to know who Jordan Love is. Jordan Love is a good QB. And yes, I don't know if he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but Packers did get another QB. The thing
he's a good quarterback. Yeah. He's a good quarterback, but he can be had.
He can be had. None of these quarterbacks put the fear of God in the Bears.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're running a division where you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Josh Allen coming afterwards. No.
Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson.
You know what I'm saying? You got quarterbacks who I think first of all, I've always been a Jared Goff guy. I liked him when he was with the Rams. I didn't understand the switch to Stafford. Of course, they won. So
McVay was tired of basically being that nigga's puppet master. Like, remember when he was with the Rams, he would always have to like call plays repeatedly to that nigga because that's what he didn't like. But I think this is a trade that neither team lost. Like, you can't say that the Rams. You can't say that the Rams. I saw somebody tweet that the Rams lost the trade. Like, they won the Lombardi Trophy. No, the fuck they did.
They won a World Series. They won a Super Bowl. No, didn't lose. And then look at what the Lions. The Lions have the best that they've ever been. I don't know a time when the Lions were this good.
Jared Goff was an MVP candidate. Him, Lamar, and Josh Allen has no interceptions.
Nuts, which is crazy. So he's played outstanding. They didn't lose, but
if it wasn't just a quarterback award, you have to throw Derrick Henry in there too. What he's doing?
First of all, he's near 900 yards already, which is
he has 1,000 yards.
No, he doesn't have 1,000 yet.
He does have 1,000 yards rushing already.
No, he
look it up. He might get 2. He already has 1,000
yards yet.
How much is he? I could have sworn I saw he had.
I thought he had 865. 873.
Is 873? Okay.
Right. 873.
He'll be 1,000 next week.
Probably. Yeah. It's ridiculous what he's doing. I forgot he already rushed for 2,000 yards in his career.
Yeah, he's gonna do it again. I think he's the last first ballot running back.
He has 10,000 yards for his career. He ain't been here 10 years. It's nuts.
Yeah. Shout out, I got B-Flow from the chat. Said 1984, Eric Dixon ain't nervous yet.
But I that's why I truly wish we need to do away with the MVP award. We need to just simply do
quarterback of the year.
Quarterback of the year. We need to do like college. The Heisman will go to a wide receiver. It will happen.
And it should go to Travis Hunter this year.
It will go to a running back. It has happened. Matter of fact, I think that winners by year.
The Buffaloes are 1 win away from being in a bowl game. I think that's going to help Travis Hunter's chances of actually getting the fucking Heisman.
So even though the Heisman is a quarterback dominated award as of late, within the last 4 years, you have within the last 10 years, you have a running back winning, and a wide receiver winning. When is the last time somebody who wasn't a QB won MVP?
Adrian Peterson.
How long ago was that?
That was after he came back from ACLs. That was at least a decade ago.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking quarterback. 2012. So 12 years ago was the last time.
That was Adrian Peterson, right?
Yeah, 4 years ago. And then before that, the last running back was 6 years before that. It needs to be to the point that we're not prizing one position.
It was Sean Alexander, right?
It was Sean Alexander.
Yeah.
It needs to be the point where we're not prizing one position over the other. So going back to MVP odds, it needs to, not go on a tangent, but it needs to be such that we have a best quarterback, we have a best wide receiver. You know, we don't have no more offensive player of the year, which is just not a quarterback win. There's no. Break it down that it's simply like college does: quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, running back. You have your best linebacker.
You just vote MVP the way you're supposed to fucking vote MVP. Or you can just do that.
I doubt it's gonna happen. And so I think we do that, and then make it so MVP voting is much more diverse. Like you have criteria for why this person should be. Not all you threw 50 TDs. It's like quarterback's going to have the ball the majority of the time. They're going to have more points than most people. But
the only league who does MVP right is Major League Baseball, because even with the NBA, it should be best player on the best team. That's what it should be in the NBA. When MLB, it don't matter, nigga. What's your stats? You ain't even got to make the fucking playoffs.
Right.
We just happen to have both MVPs from last year and the ones who will be MVP again this year. Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani. That's first time ever.
Right. That it should be such that this happens, because I truly think if I'm looking at the totality of the players right now, Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson are my number 1 and number 2 MVP front runners. That's how well that they're playing the game. Josh Allen's stats of no interceptions are great. I still don't think he's playing ball as good as Lamar Jackson or Derrick Henry is. Now he's probably third on that list, but going back to my original point about quarterbacks, about the importance, and I don't feel fear. I don't think the Bears should feel fear. They're in a prime position to put themselves within playoff contention. But once that gauntlet from hell in the division starts, you're going to lose games. You're going to lose to all of these teams once. The biggest issue I have is, can they beat the Packers? I don't know that yet. I know you can beat the Vikings.
I'm not picking them till they do it, by the way.
Exactly. For both of those Packers games, I'm picking the Packers.
Yeah.
Now, I'm confident you can beat the Vikings. I'm confident you can beat the Lions. But the Packers, you have to show and prove. And
then you got Seattle and the Niners, even though the Niners game looks way more gettable now. But those are two NFC games that I keep telling you, conference record is going to matter if it comes towards wild card seeding towards the end.
Right. And if they make the playoffs, then now Ryan Pohl's rebuild is complete. Yeah. They are in playoff contention. And then if Caleb continues to play well, that means he's going to take an even bigger step next year. Now, we all have to be aware of like a sophomore wall. You got into people on Twitter for saying CJ hit a sophomore wall.
Trillberger Twitter got mad at me on Sunday.
I said it's a slight wall, meaning like
I said he just hit a wall. I didn't say he was trash. I didn't say he had a sophomore slump. I said he hit a wall.
Right.
The last couple, last 2 games, he hasn't been CJ. And by the way, the NFC North must have a blueprint on how to guard, because he ain't went off on nobody in division. Nope. So yeah, that's all I said. And niggas like, still got the win. I'm like, I didn't say y'all was trash, nigga. I said it just hit a wall. But Twitter you can't have nuance on Twitter.
I blame Michael Jordan for wins being associated with star players, even though that's an entirely different sport. We said,
it's like I blame Jay-Z and 50 Cent for record sales.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, he got the win. I'm like, bro. Football is so much more than just what the quarterback does. You can have a great, like for instance, Patrick Mahomes is not having a good season. That team is undefeated. You know what I'm saying?
They just got DeAndre Hopkins.
They just got DeAndre Hopkins, which is
for a 5th rounder.
I'm actually not. I don't really give a shit about that pickup. This ain't the same DeAndre Hopkins.
No, but he ain't gotta be the same DeAndre Hopkins. Just give them some life.
That wide receiver room is ass.
That's what I'm saying. Just give them some life. We ain't need him to be prime, Nuke.
I don't think he's gonna even get like nobody in that wide receiver room. That wide receiver room stinks. It is bad. And I'm
not disagreeing with that.
I think what has allowed the Chiefs to be so good is that they've had a defense that has been opportunistic, and you've had Patrick Mahomes in the clutch. Now, I don't think Pat's last season was spectacular at any stretch of the imagination. I thought his last season was okay. If I remember correctly, yeah, he had 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 14 picks. It was an okay year for Patrick Mahomes. The year before, I thought he was just playing outstandingly. The year before, they had a better wide receiver room. The problem is they're kind of cheap with their wide receiver rooms, and they pick up gadget players, and that ends up hurting them because right now Pat Mahomes is putting up stinkers. So this is a solid move for him because it's just a fifth rounder. I don't know if I'd pay a fifth rounder for him, because at least how I'm knowing how the Bears draft. The Bears draft very well in later rounds. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see what happens. Going back to my original points, I'm intrigued to see what happens with the Bears. The jury's still out for me. I still don't know if this is a good team. I need more data.
Yeah, I have no idea if this is a good team.
This is a great 3-game win streak for them.
Yeah.
They've played dookie competition in these 3 games, and they're going to have to play. Who did they beat who have they beat so far?
They beat the
Rams.
Titans. They beat the
Titans.
Rams. They beat the Panthers and the Jaguars.
Ass. So now
here's the thing. No, go ahead. My bad.
So you're going to go against your first good team. So now let's see how they play against a good team. But then again, I don't believe in the Commanders either.
They played the Houston. Houston's a good thing. Yeah. And as bad as they played, they had the ball down 6 with a chance to win the game. This is how I look at it. I don't know if this team is good. And I think what I've been trying to tell people, well, are you getting too high on your Bears? Like, no, I'm getting high on Caleb. I ain't saying shit about the team, nigga. I am convinced Caleb is the one, and we are watching his floor right now. That's what I'm convinced about. I have no fucking idea about the team yet. And a win against these next 3 games will tell me if they're a serious team. What I mean by is this, like you just said when we started the podcast, Bears fashion would be you just came off a bye week where you won 3 in a row, your quarterback looks good, everything's clicking, and then you lose to a Jayden Daniels Washington Commanders team, and Marcus Mariota has like 305 and 3 touchdowns. That would be typical Bears. If the Bears are a good team, they'll go out there and they'll take care of fucking business, and they'll win at the bare minimum 2 out of these next 3 games. This will prove to me what kind of team they are, because look, if you want to win a division, you got to either win 3 in a row, you got to sweep this 3, or at the worst lose 1. Let's just say they win 3 in a row. I do not think that's going to happen. Let's just say they sweep this next 3, and that means they're on a 6-game winning streak. That means you are 8-2. Unless you just like go 0-4, you're gonna make the playoffs. Now you have an actual chance to win the fucking division. But at the bare minimum, they got to go 2-1 in these next 3, 7-2 if they want to have a shot to win the division. If you want to have a shot to make the playoffs, you can't go less than 2-1. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to do that. I got my math wrong. If they win 3 in a row, they'll be 7-2. My bad. If they go 2-1, they'll be 6-3. That's what I meant. So if you come into this gauntlet of hell 6-3, you still got a chance to make the playoffs. If you want the division, you got to sweep. So that's what will show me that. So that's why I kind of believe the playoffs kind of do start now. I want to see what kind of team this is. What's going to happen when Caleb gets punched in the mouth again? Because it's going to happen. He's a rookie. Like, and unless he just gets on some Patrick Mahomes shit and he just, that nigga's never going to play bad again in his first year starting, then, which I don't see happening, that's going to be a game when he looks lost again. How does he respond to that? That's what I want to see. What's Shane Waldron going to call when the defense shuts the running game down? They shut DeAndre Swift down. What are they going to do when the offensive line looks cheeks again? That's what I want to see. That will tell me whether this is a good team or not. So there's a lot riding on these 3 games. Let's get into our actual game predictions. Give me your score and who do you have winning?
For me, regardless if Jayden Daniels plays or not, I think this is a Bears victory because I believe in the Bears as a team more than the Commanders. The Commanders I still don't have faith in. They still beat up on some weak teams. That being said, the good games that they've played, they have played them well. I mean, the Ravens, I don't remember the score.
The score looks much better than the game was. The Ravens was getting in their ass at the beginning of that game.
Like they have an embarrassing loss, a blowout loss to Tampa Bay, which is not good. But the teams that they've beaten up on some weak teams.
They beat the Giants, I'm not sure who they are. Score a touchdown in that game because the Giants' defense is really good.
And ironically, their schedule is pretty easy the rest of the year.
Yeah, they got it pretty. The Bears. Remember why we was talking about strength of schedule when we did the Bears special. That's why I said in August I do not care about strength of schedule in the NFL because you don't know who's going to be good. The Bears went from having one of the easiest schedules in the NFL preseason to now they have the toughest schedule left in the NFL.
Yeah. So I don't know who these two teams represent both sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Teams who came on a nice little streak. The Commanders won 4 games and lost to Baltimore, then won their last game. Which who did they play last? They played Carolina. So they've beat weak teams. Now, this is the NFL. They're all professionals, but they beat teams weak comparative to the competition. Now they're going to play each other with see who blinks first. And in that battle, I believe in the Bears defense over any of the units in this entire game. If I put the Commanders special teams, offense, defense, Bears special teams, offense, defense, there's one unit I believe in more than any other units. I believe in the Bears defense. And by that strength, I think they'll win. Jayden Daniels will be tested like he ain't been tested in his career because he's going against a team that can shut down the run and the pass and who are very balanced on defense. I pray that you get Jaquan and Kyler back. I doubt you will, but we'll see because I think that bolsters them even more. Overall score, I have this 30-21 Bears.
You took my score. I had the same fucking thing. I'm gonna go. You said you had 30-21.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 30-20 then. 30. I'm gonna go 31-20. There we go. Point 31-20. I'm gonna say 20 points for them because I do not think Jaquan and Kyler are gonna play. So I think that they'll put a little bit more points up. They got a really good running game. Brian Robertson, really good running back. I feel like if there's any Achilles heel for the defense, it would be the run defense. So I think that they're going to be able to have a little bit of a good game, make things easier for Marcus Mariota. And let's just say last minute, Jayden Daniels does play. He's not 100%. So that doesn't really change my prediction too much. I think that this is a different team as far as the typical Bears thing. I think we're going to slowly start to see that get pulled away. And I think they're going to bounce back with a good win. I think Caleb's going to have a great game. That Washington defense stinks. And now not only do they stink, they don't have Jonathan Allen for the rest of the year. He's out. So I think this is going to be a good game for them. One thing that I want to see, and something that Caleb pointed out today, I want them to see they need to have better first quarters. Even though they've been scoring points these last couple of weeks, they got to have better first quarters. And I think they're going to be 5-2, man. And now you head into a game which I think they're going to lose against Arizona just because it's Arizona. It's 3 p.m. start. You've never seen a Bears-Cardinals game that didn't have a stupid finish alert.
True.
At least the ones in Arizona. My
biggest worry is Kyler Murray getting out the pocket because he's one of the fastest quarterbacks in the league.
And Marvin Harrison making Tyreek Stevenson look crazy.
Which is, it's funny. People are like, oh, man, was it the wrong choice getting Marvin Harrison over Malik Nabers and Brian Thomas? I'm like,
I hate the fucking.
He's better than both of these receivers skill.
Right, I hate Twitter so much.
Just ain't getting the ball, and it's fine. He ain't getting the ball, and that's just what happens. And it's okay. I just don't think stats are determinative. And on top of that, when you look at the totality of who they were in college, come on now, Marvin Harrison. But in his last 3 games, he has 5 receptions. Yeah. He ain't getting the ball. He ain't got the ball significantly since September.
Yep, 100%, man. So I think the Bears will win on Sunday. They will go to 5-2, and the victory shades will be back. Anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Meanwhile, Malik Nabers has double the catches that he has. I just want to point that out because, of course, he's a Buckeye, and I'm going to probably be biased.
You think about Marvin Harrison? I was like, okay,
yeah, I'm probably biased, but I just wanted to stick with that. Anyway,
all right,
but I have nothing further.
You have nothing further. I have nothing further either. We'll be back. I'm not gonna hold you on Friday. I got a lot of things to say about that manufactured hallmark moment we saw on the crypto.com arena floor yesterday. Then we'll be talking about on Friday, as well as along with other things, getting y'all ready for week 8 in the NFL season, man. I am Scott. I am Flows. I'm Scott. That is Flows. At Barcher Scott. At Flows in the league on social media platform. Yeah, I did say that. And I'm just noticing right now that the whole time that we were doing this show, I had I'm not gonna hold you logo up there in the corner. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Anyway, but that's all we got for y'all, man. Patreon.com/Barbershop Network. Take the QR code, take you right to the link, man. And if you subscribe to the $10 holla, it'll give you a 25% off code on your first order at the bcnetshop.com, man. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week. Hope y'all enjoyed this game. We will holler at y'all next week. We up out of here, man.
Since Bobby Ingram, Curtis Ennis, Know that we've been loyal way back from the beginning. A trusted source for the news. 79th at Halas, what it is, what it do. Since Bobby Ingram, Curtis Ennis. Know that we've been loyal even when we wasn't winning. A trusted source for the news. 79th at Halas in your